Everyone, how's it going? Stevie here, Stevie C, ABC at Twitter. Today, as you can see by the title, this is a very short video on pro-Israeli propaganda. So let's get into it. The topic of pro-Israeli trolls is always at the forefront within left-wing activism. And over the last few weeks, and probably longer, fellow socialist and Labour left convener Sally Eason has not just been trolled, but has genuinely been harassed online and offline by the pro-Israel trolls. So I thought, let's have a look at who these trolls are and let's see if we can get some names and faces to them. So, before I continue, if you want to read the full story on Sally Eason and her harassment from these pro-Israel trolls, head to the Labour Left website, which is labourleftvoice.co.uk, or just head to their Twitter at Labour Left, and you will be able to read Sally's story in full with evidence and mentioning everything that's happened in this whole nasty story. So let us continue. If you are a follower or an activist of politics online and have ever dared to utter the words that even sound like Palestine or Israel are doing wrong, then you will have faced the infamous pro-Israel trolls, otherwise known as JIDF, which stands for the Jewish Internet Defence Force. Now, this is something I thought people knew about. I took for granted people knew about. It turns out they don't. So here we are. The JIDF had existed online for close to 20 years now, with myself first coming across them via the ancient pro-Palestine debates on one of the internet's oldest and biggest alt-topic forums, abovetopsecret.com. I first discovered the JIDF around 2005, when the internet was, well, we thought it was, a simpler place, with chat and debate existing on the internet's many bulletin boards. One thing that was identical to today was the activities of the JIDF, who back then, and continuing today, are some of the most vile and abusive trolls the internet has. And that is no word of a lie, that is no hyperbole. It's the truth, folks, and sorry about the light. I don't know why we've got this little white ghosting in the corner, but it's light. So back when I first came across this group, I was very active on the forum Above Top Secret, which is possibly the world's biggest and oldest political and conspiracy forum / bulletin board outside of the world of news groups that the internet has. I was very active within the geopolitics and Palestine boards, and let's not speak about the UFO and secret aircrafts, but I liked looking at them too. Just like today, if anything was posted to Above Top Secret that involved Palestine or Israel, within, I say hours here, but within minutes, the posts would be filled with the exact same sort of trolling and projection that we see today on Twitter and Facebook. The exact same stuff. Every post would be littered with false allegations of anti-Semitism, allegations of Holocaust denial, allegations of being racist, and of course, being accused of supporting murder and terrorism. Comically, back then, the JIDF site, now this is no word of lie, sadly I can only way back machine their site to 2008, I think it was, so I can't get this logo, but when I first discovered the JIDF website, their logo on their website literally had a quote from Joseph Goebbels on propaganda. That was their website. That was their banner. Which I don't think you can get any more ironic than that. But I mean, let's have a look at what Wiki says on the JIDF. The Jewish Internet Defence Force, JIDF, is an organisation that uses social media to mobilise support for campaigns against websites and Facebook groups that promote or praise what it describes as Islamic terrorism or anti-Semitism. The group's website describes the JIDF as a private, independent, non-violent organisation that represents a collective of activists. The JIDF's work has been termed hacktivism by some media outlets. So, straight off the bat, I'm pretty sure that the JIDF are the people that wrote this bit here, because they've called themselves hacktivists, right? All they do is harass people and dox people. That is not hacktivism, that's just being a bunch of dicks. Hi there to the people watching, by the way. I've got a script today, so I'm trying to rattle through it and keep my focus, so I'll be speaking to you later. It has been reported in the past, via BBC of all places, there's a documentary called House of Sound, find it and watch it, that they have described and reported that Israel have the world's best and most high-tech systems of social media control. In fact, they are so good at this that they farm services out to other states and other entities, such as the Saud royal family, who they supply social media control systems and techniques with. You learn something new every day. There is, to my knowledge, right, a lot of this now is fact-based speculation. You can look up this online, but we're going to have a little dive into it. Of course, I think there's a lot more to this than I can see, but until I am on that side of things and can see what they're doing, we can only speculate. So, I speculate that the Israel system of social media control are made up of a lot of many nasty parts, but there's two very effective, and the most effective parts are the software systems that bring every instance of people talking about Palestine or criticising Israel on social media to their attention so that they can be targeted and relentlessly trolled by G IDF, and the system of manpower. And I literally mean that. People working within that system. The IDF, the Israeli army, right? People in Israel, if you're an Israeli citizen, you've got to do your national service. So you've got to work for the army for a few years. The IDF actually has offices and has places, buildings, work centres, where members of the Israeli army, the IDF, who are doing their national service, work on the internet. They work in front of computers as internet trolls, as people working for the GIDF, because the system is not completely autonomous. No system like this can be completely autonomous. Can I get rid of that light? No, I can't. These systems need people to work them, and the people who work them for Israel are the IDF. They have literal people from the Israeli army that work on this stuff. So now we know who they are, let's have a quick chat about how they operate, because this video needs to get wound up fast. The closer to the truth you will get, the more they will harass you. This is what they do. Brigading and harassment is the top tool of these nasty people. Rather than engage with you in a polite way or even a rational way, these accounts will come at you as hard as they can. And they will use projection techniques to bombard your timeline with allegations of false truths. But the logic of this is that the more crap that they post with you tagged in it, and that remains linked to you on your timeline and the such, the more evidence they have to say that, look, that person's a nasty person. Look at all that stuff on their timeline, even though the whole thing is manufactured to cause ill will. Following this, if you don't stop, this is when the criminal harassment will begin. The harassment does not... When their online harassment does not work, JIDF will move to doxing, like they've done to me in the past. They will dox you. They will then try and intimidate you by posting your personal information on your public timeline so you see it and then deleting it. So they can position themselves in this place of having something to bribe you with and trying to intimidate you. And that's what it's about, intimidating, to shut people up. Along with the doxing, no matter how big a name you are, you will be faced with a list of vile fake accounts and memes that will do anything to make you look bad. Like for me, example, they created a fake account that got deleted straight away. They created a few memes and stuff like that. But in Sally's case, what they're doing to her is terrible. It's really, really disgusting. And I would say everyone, go to the page, the Labour Left website, read the full story, because what they're doing is disgusting, and it is these people who are doing it. Well, I mean, as I just said, what we see happening on Twitter to Sally Eason is this exact behaviour, and it is historically accurate to the textbook sort of behaviours we've seen from the GIDF in past years. So lastly, if you're faced with this sort of trolling, right, this is one of the very few times that I will just say, block, block, block. Whatever data you throw at them, they will throw it back at you 100 times worse. These people exist to harass, and even worse, they're paid to do it. So don't expect to be able to talk these people down or get them on side. It's impossible. They're doing their work. JIDF, for the most, are a group of professional trolls working hand in hand with the IDF, the Israeli army. That's what you're fighting against here. I don't think you'll ever be able to beat this enemy. You can never beat your enemy unless you know your enemy. Sadly, in this case, I think you would need an actual army to beat these, but we don't need to beat these idiots. We just need to stop giving these idiots air, and as difficult as it may seem, we need to stop replying, as every reply we give to them is just a foot in the door for them to give us more harassment. How many cars have been inside your garage? I wish I had a garage. So that's me. Follow me on Twitter at StevieCABZ. If you've got anything to say about this, contact me on Twitter. Come, let's discuss it. What do you want to say? And in the future, I'll probably cover this in a bit longer form, because this was supposed to be 5 minutes. It is now 10. I do apologise, Sally.